Okay, let's go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the number one podcast in the world, where
Pasta.
where McDermott explains how, although he's not a smart man, he knows what love is. We are the Brothers Chatter. Give us
Plus Danny.
Plus Danny.
Well, dude, he didn't.
No, it's Danny G to you, bitch.
Damn, how you gonna call me a
I
bitch?
don't even want to fucking do this no more.
Sorry.
Or you call me a bitch for nothing.
I said sorry.
You guys need to kiss me. You guys are looking more and more like, I'm starting to think that you guys are brothers. You're
Bro,
dressed alike.
I shaved my head first. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Well, you are older than him, but younger brothers look up to bigger brothers.
Facts.
Damn.
My younger brother holds my pocket, so
Kind of weird. If you
It's
know
not-
what that what that means.
if you go through it, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as you think it is.
So what? We fucked one time, Tim. Stop.
Yeah, so what? Don't
No.
judge us. It's 2023.
You're
Fuck,
right.
dude.
My bad.
Why?
So, well, in the year 2023, technology's rise, and
Except my internet.
except for McDermott's internet, we're hoping it'll get us through the stream. But technology's taken us to far reaches, So I wanted to kind of get your thoughts.
Would you say to infinity and beyond?
Maybe.
Startled me.
Would you say when we talk about space, how much of our known galaxy would you say that we discovered?
I mean, I have a number on the tip of my tongue. Like, it's right there. I think it's like, I don't know. I'm going to guess like 0.0000 infinite 1%.
Maybe.
Like, not that much. Like, we are like a little blip in the whole space and time thing. I mean,
A lot of it.
And McDermott thinks a lot.
where,
Oh, I just think that they know more than what they put out.
so that's your stance on it. Your stance
Yeah.
is you don't think that space is real, really.
No, I think space is real. I just think that we've been farther, or we know more about space than like what they say.
Okay, so you think that we are way further in technology than they lead on to believe. So you think we're in like Star Trek or Star Wars type?
No, I'm not
technology.
saying that. I'm just saying that they know there's more space out there than what like we learn about.
All right.
I'm not
Well,
saying we
I
got
mean,
that
what we've learned
technology.
about is basically it's infinite space as far as we can tell.
I just think we've been farther than what.
Okay. Do you think
they
we've been
put out.
outside our galaxy? Because I mean, that's pretty. I mean, that's almost
What's
impossible.
our galaxy, like all the way to Pluto?
No, it extends way further than that, buddy. Like
It's
our
the solar
galaxy
system,
is.
buddy.
I'm going to say, in the scientific terms that we know and have learned, I'm going to say it's impossible because it probably would take longer than we've even known that we've had this technology to get that far.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it would have take hundreds, thousands of light years to get outside of our
It would take
galaxy.
thousands. It could be a million. I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, our galaxy is
Just to get outside of our galaxy. So here's a good analogy. This is how it's always been explained to me. I do agree that I think that obviously there are people on this planet who probably know more than what the rest of us know. But the best way to think of it is think of our galaxy as the Earth's oceans, right? And so what we have discovered in our galaxy, if you were to take a 12-ounce glass and dip it into the ocean, pull it up, that is how much we've discovered.
That's not full.
It's not full. It's about 12 ounces.
that's not the point, though.
It's the 12 ounce. We've discovered about 12 ounces of water of all of the Earth's ocean. That's what they say.
Yeah, you know who we need? Darn, get on the phone after we're done here. We need that dude, that Neil deGrasse Tyson.
We need Neil deGrasse Tyson on it.
Absolutely, that dude is smart as fuck.
Who the fuck's that? Why don't we just call Bill Nye?
Well, he's like the space
an-
version of Bill Nye.
Yeah, he's an astrophysicist. He
Yeah, you've never seen him before?
No. Do I look like a guy who looks that up on fucking?
He's the black dude with like
Oh, well, he got to be a black guy.
well, he is black, but dude is fucking extremely smart. I mean, he's done a ton of documentaries.
He's good friends with Joe Rogan. He does his own podcast called Star Talk. He's got a couple books out. He's pretty smart.
And the documentaries are actually interesting.
It's funny you mentioned Pluto, McDermott. He's the one. He's not the one who did it, but he's the one who gets responsibility for making Pluto not a planet.
Right. You didn't even know that, did you?
I knew it wasn't a planet because I remember I had to learn about that it was a fucking planet, and then like a couple years later, like, oh hey, by the way, everything we taught you about Pluto, it's not a fucking planet no more.
Well, they have brought it back. It's considered a dwarf planet now.
Yeah, dwarf planet. Yeah, I mean, there like other moons that are like bigger than Pluto.
Oh yeah, I think our moon is bigger than Pluto. I think.
What? Really? Damn.
Pluto's tiny because it's just another object in the Kuiper Belt.
Right, and it's on the same like type of orbit around the sun. So I get it. Like whatever.
I'm just. How do we know there's more? Like, how do you know that you just don't go outside our galaxy and it's just a black fucking hole, though? You know.
I mean, it could be like the only people that know are the people that have done it, or if they've done it.
Which is NASA, which they're not going to say shit because them and the government love each other. You know.
Then they're all lying anyway because of the green screen shit.
Well, and there's so much stuff that we still don't even fully understand. So when you talk about black holes, most galaxies they've discovered actually have a massive black hole in the center, and that's what helps create the black hole.
Yeah.
Or I mean, create the galaxy because everything gets sucked in.
Yeah.
And then it creates the vortex, or so because there's different patterns.
In essence, eventually everything will eventually get sucked into the black hole, right? Like in time, like it could be millions and kabillion or whatever the fucking number is.
Dude, God created our planet. Stop.
No one said he didn't.
I mean, I still believe in God, but the question that I don't think people ever really get into, and this is something I've thought about, is well, what or who is God? I mean, when we say an all-powerful or supreme being, what is that? I mean, can that just be another type of?
We could get
another
into
dimension, or
that's a whole other topic for a whole other day. I mean, we could get into religious stuff because, like you said, that I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but then you look at the Bible and it says God created man in his own image. So if he's from somewhere outside of our galaxy, then is there other people like us if he created us in his image, you know?
Good chance.
Or are we just the only ones? That's
that's one theory, that we're not even necessarily from here. I mean, maybe we didn't necessarily evolve from apes, that we're from another planet. Or galaxy.
Maybe we're planet destroyers because look what we're doing to this planet.
Ain't that the truth?
But
the funny thing is, like,
we're bad people.
Whenever you talk to anybody who doesn't believe in aliens, and you use the 12-ounce glass analogy, because anyone who says that, you know, if you were to take this glass and dip it into the ocean, right, and pull it out, you can see there is no signs of life in here. So could you then say that there's no signs of life in the ocean?
No, that's false. I guarantee you put that under a microscope. If you get that out the ocean, there's some sort of fucking microbism or whatever that's called.
Microbism.
Yeah.
But I'm even talking about like obvious, like you can see something like a fish.
Oh no.
You can't see a fish in here. That doesn't mean that there's no fish in the ocean, right? So if you ever deal with someone who's a non-believer, just use that analogy with them. It makes a little bit more sense and kind of.
I mean,
cuts.
I don't know if I believe that, because like you could do that 1,000,000 times and never get a fish in that glass.
Exactly.
So
that's
like you could assume then that there are no fish in there. Just like I could take my hand and put it up my ass crack and not get shit on my hand. That doesn't mean that there's not shit in my ass. I'm just saying the same analogy. I mean.
No,
it doesn't mean there's there's not shit there.
That's the point. Like you can dip that shit in water. How the fuck do I understand this before you?
No, what I'm saying is he's saying
and you don't get a fish.
But what if you don't know what fish is?
It doesn't mean there's not.
Imagine that you don't know what a fish is. and you just decide I'm going to dip this glass into this water 1,000,000 times, and none of those 1,000,000 times you're not going to catch a fish. Like in that little glass, you're not going to catch a fish.
You don't know what a fish is in the fucking ocean or the water, then you probably should go check yourself into a fucking retard facility.
No, never mind, McDermott. I'm saying
like take the analogy
talking about
and,
the undiscoverable. We're talking about the undiscoverable. So you're on a brand new planet that's undiscovered, and you're like, oh, hey, here's water. I wonder if there's anything in it. And you dip a glass in it 1,000,000 times, you're not going to get a fish in that little glass.
That's the point of the analogy. Though. That's for non-belief. If someone says, "Oh no, we're alone. There's no one in the galaxy, right? It's just us," because we haven't discovered that much. That's where the glass analogy plays.
Right. Like I'm gonna. 1,000,000 times we've looked out into space and never. I mean, I don't know about 1,000,000, but we've never seen one. So a lot of people would assume that there's nothing out there. That I'm not saying that. I'm saying it could be out of our reach, out of what we're able to discover so far, out of what our telescopes are able to see. Because, I mean, technically we're looking into the fucking past anyway, which I think is cool what they recently discovered like a year or two ago. Like, what was the newest fucking extremely expensive telescope that they built? It was like, we were able to, we found like galaxies like that are close to the beginning of time. Because when we looked into it from our old telescopes, it was showing like it looked like as far as we could see, but like there was something blocking it, right? So when they made this new telescope, it was able to see through whatever it was that was blocking it. And they're saying that like what we're able to see now is what was there close to the beginning of time, which is fucking
because it's able to see further and clearer. So basically what it's saying is, I mean, technically if you were to go outside and look up, you're looking back in time because the light you're seeing has been traveling for millions and millions of years.
Exactly. So what we're seeing is not space but time.
Yeah, I mean you're seeing light from back when the dinosaurs were still around.
Exactly. Isn't that cool, McDermott? Like what we're seeing, because it takes so long for that light to get to our eyes, what we're seeing is actually millions of years old. It just took it that long to get here. Isn't that cool shit?
I'm fucking lost.
I think his brain hurts.
So what, like the speed of light? When did that shit get here? The fucking speed of light?
No,
it is traveling. Light travels at the speed of light. It's
so
so
the same
far
sun
away.
hitting me, the same sunbeam of light hitting me hit a fucking T-Rex fucking 1 billion years ago.
No, not the sun. I'm talking about if you were to walk outside right now and you're looking at stars, like light from other.
Well, I mean the sun too. Like when you're looking at the sun, you're actually looking into the past because the sun shining down on you, that light took time to get here, like a long time.
Yeah, not as long. It's
not
92.
As long, but
it's 92 million miles away. It takes about 8 minutes for sunlight to get.
Yeah, so you're looking at the sun 8 minutes in the past. Now, whenever you're seeing like through a massive telescope, like a really good one, stars that are like what, thousands, millions of miles like in space. That's stuff that could be back in the dinosaur times. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so far away that light from that star is traveling. Yeah, it's the speed of light, but it's million of light years away. So it took that long. So the light you're seeing actually probably started back when there were still dinosaurs.
I see the fucking wheels turning in that head. Isn't that cool though? Like we just got nerdy as fuck, but you can't tell that's not like.
Put in my 2 weeks in on this podcast. I've never seen two grown men get so hyped that they saw a star that a fucking dinosaur probably saw.
But like you don't think that's cool?
I want to see little green motherfuckers running around, dude. I don't. Fuck the stars. I want to see a little fucking alien just when I walk outside my house, he's just chilling there.
But what I'm saying is that like that's the whole. Never mind. You don't think it's cool, so never mind.
We might get there eventually.
Maybe.
I don't know if it's gonna be in any of our lifetime, but
we need to discover hyperspeed first.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like if people say they believe in aliens, like I think more people would say they believe in like UFOs and aliens and shit if it wasn't for when you say that, like then you might as well say you believe in Bigfoot, the Loch Ness monster, all like So I feel like when you say you believe in aliens, it kind of like so you're believing in ghosts, aliens, demon. Like,
well, I think ghosts is on another level than that
I
stuff.
mean, there's just as many sightings about ghost shit than there are fucking alien.
I mean, true. And so, I mean, like maybe it could be that it just what our imaginations have come up with over time that we talk about it so much that it's like, wow, that it's not that far fetched. Maybe it could be true. Maybe it could be a real thing.
If we have only discovered a fucking cup of water out in an ocean of space, then I mean, I'm sure there's something fucking out there somewhere.
Listen.
I mean, I'm sure there's stuff that we haven't discovered on this planet yet, places we can't go.
I was waiting to put this on till later, but I guess it's probably safe to put it on now.
That makes sense.
I feel safer already.
All right, so you're the one. So what's your tinfoil theory then?
What?
Do you have one?
I don't know. I'm just getting scared.
Spike?
Huh?
Wait,
It's
What's
cool
that
looking.
spike?
Just cool looking.
you don't understand what that's for?
I mean, that's like for
It's
people
an
who
antenna.
are like schizophrenic.
Well, not schizophrenic.
Conspiracy
Conspiracy
theorists.
Like
Schizophrenic.
thinking that like aliens can like read your
some.
brain and shit.
Bro, if you're a hardcore conspiracy, you probably have schizophrenia. Like, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Like, I believe in, like, I think there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. But, like, the extent that some of these people go, yikes.
It does make you wonder. Here's my one issue with the whole aliens thing, and one of you guys mentioned it a little. Probing thing. Like, let's assume that is a thing. Like, what's up with the probing?
Probably, like, read our inside.
Well, think about it. Where did that start?
It's
Movies?
schizophrenic.
Movies?
Maybe. No, it started, I finally know something. No, it was, what's that, like, hotspot that state, like, they have, like, so much alien activity? I want to say it's in Arizona. It's in Arizona. It's not Area 51, it's a town. They literally sell alien shit. Like, that's what their whole tourist attraction is based on. It's like a big open desert. I think it's by Area 51, but it's not like Area 51 itself.
That's where urban started?
Apparently, one of the first people who were like said they got like abducted by aliens said they put something in my butt.
Yeah,
that's when it blew up.
Is that the Fire in the Sky movie? Is that what that's made about?
No, that was up in like the woods, like either Canada or like Washington, like the northern.
Oh,
where that UFO or the UFO crashed and like the FBI came in and blocked that guy's property off or something.
No, Fire in the Sky is where these guys were, but this is based off of a true story, at least the reported part, because obviously we can prove it. These loggers, one of their guys went missing. They reported that he got abducted by alien. He reports like, in the movie it kind of shows some scenes like in the one that it's still one of the freakiest scenes in movies. Like they strap him, the aliens strap him down to this table with some like latex like cloth or something. And it just holds.
It's
him.
fucking weird.
And he's like screaming like ah. And there's like you can see like they instead of probing they take a needle and put it into his eye now.
And all you see is the eyeball coming through the latex.
Yeah, they cut out a little piece so you can see his eye. They shove something down his throat too.
Yeah.
And the scene cuts right before it goes into. Know that this straight into.
And then he ends up back on Earth.
Yeah, it was a freaky fucking movie, but it's based off of.
But like how he was abducted was kind of cool too, because it's like all of a sudden it's like not like a beam of light, like like a corny ass like movie or something, but it's like there is a light, but then all of a sudden like his body just like goes stiff as shit and like goes like leans back, and it looks like getting beamed up fucking hurts, but I don't know. Yeah. But it was a cool movie. But
hopefully there's a weight limit on that beam, so I'm good.
I don't think you'll get beamed up in your lifetime, but I mean, you could.
You don't know.
I'm
I'm
things like
outside at
choose
night a
you.
lot, dude.
When
And
things
I
like
work where a
choose
lot
you.
of like radiation is. Like they love that shit.
True.
They fuel like their little spaceships with it.
So, the first thing I found on Reddit is from 1907. Someone by the name of Whitley Strieber presents a long story of his encounters with probable extraterrestrials in Communion as memoir. He presents the experience of anal probing as very specifically two of.
I'm wondering if he just
Hold on.
wasn't fucking crazy
Hold on.
and got raped.
Hold on. Because I started reading this. Two. I don't even know if I can say this with a straight face. Two of the stocky ones drew my legs apart. They inserted this thing into my rectum. It seemed to swarm into me as if it had a life of its own. Apparently, its purpose was to take samples, possibly of fecal matter. But at the time, I had the impression I was being raped, and for the first time, I felt anger.
Bro was tripping on fucking acid or something and got raped by a football team.
I've dropped acid multiple times, and I never once thought aliens were butt fucking me with something with the life of its own.
But listen, all right, whatever the people in our town that you see walk around looking like zombies, whatever the fuck they're tripping on, that's what this guy was tripping on. And
he's schizophrenic that stopped taking his fucking meds, and he probably was sitting on his bed and something poked his butt, and he was like, "Oh my god, aliens!" I mean, write about it.
Oh shit!
It came to life inside of him.
That was awesome. I can't believe I found that.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. But yeah, like I guess like the whole probing thing is like, I guess like I mean, is that what we want to do if we found another race? Like we
I
caught
just
one.
can't
is that
imagine
what we're
that's
doing?
what we would be.
I mean, that's got to be where the thought came from.
I think if aliens got us, they would treat us better than we probably treated them if we caught them.
Yes, 100%.
Probably.
Although I don't know. If they want to learn our species, they're probably going to kill us and cut us open to see what's inside.
But most people who say they've been abducted or something have always come back. Like there's been reports where like they were like, "Yo, I'm telling you, like they were cool as shit. Like they were chilled. You don't know what the fuck they're saying, but like,
well, you also.
I mean, you go to a Chinese restaurant, you don't know what they're saying either. It's not like you can't enjoy your time there."
All right, so let me ask you a question: if you got abducted, like, and they were nice and they were cool, like, what would you like? How would you act though? Even if like they weren't trying to harm you, like,
I mean, I'd be fucking freaked out, but like, I'd see if they could fix my dick issue. I mean, if they got the technology to, like if they got the technology to get me up there,
how are you going to communicate that to them?
I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to say
this
to like.
Watch what you wish for.
And if they do that, and then when they go to like look at my butt, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna point to my hemorrhoid and be like,
they're gonna think that you want them to fuck you in the ass,
right?
Which is what we were just talking about.
They're gonna be like, "What the fuck is wrong with this race? All they want to do is fuck anything that they can."
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. I would make it like I've always said when I'm like possibly looking at death, I'm going to try to enjoy the moments as much as I can. Like, I mean, I think I'll be terrified. And, like, obviously, you're not going to know how you're going to act in that. But, like, if a murderer kidnaps me, I'm going to be like, crack some jokes like, damn, bro. You're kind of doing me a favor, honestly, bro. Or, like, aliens get me. I'm going to have some fun. Like, if I'm going to die, like, you might as well have a little fun. And, like, chances are, what if, like, I'm cool, they're like, yo, this fat little bitch is kind of chill, bro. And, like, they get rid of my tribal tattoos for me and they give me a little bigger dick. Have, like, a new life.
You can live till you're, like, 1,000 with their technology, maybe.
Facts.
But you'd have no one to tell.
I think the other thing you got to keep in mind is if you think about the Drake equation, there's tens of thousands of species. So you're going to also have different types of aliens. You have some that are shit. You're going to have some other ones that are probably into some weird shit. You're going to have some that would come here and destroy us.
Yeah, look at us, Russia, China. I mean, Mexico.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
have
100%.
some.
technically, we're all aliens. If I mean,
100%, we're killing our government. All the other countries' governments, they're killing it. Like even if it surrenders peacefully and wants to be nice, we're killing it. I can tell you that right now, just so we can study its insides. We are a disgusting race, and we are a fucking terrible people.
But another species could also be so far above us or beyond us that they look to us as we look on a anthill. Like we're just specks. Like they've
You
been
mean like
millions of
as far
species.
as
They've gone through
size?
this. No, not size, just intelligence. Like you're looking at
Advanced.
it.
Okay.
because like there's been shows like obviously you don't want to like believe like the ghost shows and like like this, but like there had I think it was the Ghost Adventure guys when they were that Skinwalker Ranch they were at.
Mhm.
Like they have like UFO shit too. Like apparently the guy was saying like the aliens are communicating with themselves without talking. Like you could see them
Yeah.
like having like like passing it brainwave, which kind of if you think about it, like we kind of do that too. Like they say that twin telepathy is like a real fucking thing. Like twins kind of know what each other are thinking without having to say it. So like I wonder if that's like aliens have advanced to that point
Yeah,
to
I
do
mean, it
that
could be.
and we haven't.
We don't have any way to scientifically prove that that's a thing with like twins or anything. I mean, I could
I
like
don't know. I know a set of
we have
twins,
different
man, and
ways of
they
communicating.
hot?
Like we can communicate with
well, they're
like
guys.
each other just by a look.
Are they hot?
I mean, I guess if
But like I'm saying, like absolutely, I think there's other ways. Like if there are other races out there, they probably have different ways of communicating than we do. Not every one of them might have a mouth or a voice box. You know,
They might not even
maybe they
breathe oxygen.
communicate by touching fingers, like fucking ET. Like he knew what
Maybe.
the fuck a phone was. Like that shit was stupid.
That's still a good movie. I haven't seen that movie ever.
It is a good movie, but kind of corny.
Yeah, so the idea of space, it's interesting. I mean, I think obviously I don't think we're gonna get to experience some of the things within our lifetime, but if you believe in reincarnation, maybe someday. There are also the other
talk space,
Jesus Christ.
it's in my hands. God was right.
I
And
got
there
the
it is.
whole world in my hand.
You sounded smart for a while until
you.
then.
I'll try.
Well,
I know
there
you
are also some others that say that even if there are other species, because I think we're limited at what we can do or what we even think is possible. But there's some people that say that if there are other intelligence so far apart, we will never. The technology, there's no way to really get to that advanced. What you see in movies, not even possible.
Star
Well,
Wars.
how do we know that there's
We
not
don't.
fucking another place that's behind us though? You know, like they're real dumb or something.
See, that's what
Well,
I've always thought. I mean, there's nothing saying that we're at the bottom.
Right.
We might
That would
be pretty
suck.
advanced. And here's something else that'll blow your mind. And I don't remember if I brought this up on one of those. Somebody, right? When we think of technologically advanced civilizations, somebody had to be the first.
Sure.
What if there isn't any yet? We are the first.
But we are the first.
What if we are the first? I mean, we're not even there yet.
Yeah, and then
Mm,
we end up colonizing other planets and then move further from there, colonizing other places. But we have to adapt to that planet. You know what I mean?
well, did you
And
see
then
where they said like they come on now? I heard it on the radio like a couple weeks ago. Like there had like apparently there have been now signs of life of like water on Mars at one point. Like they didn't
yeah,
find
like
water, but like there
microscopic
was
shit.
signs of like actual water at one point.
Yeah.
Well, and then they say that there could be some microscopic organisms in that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, you even
So,
take Mars. We've never put a person on Mars. We've had some land rovers with some cameras on them. There's still
Right.
a lot of parts of Mars we have not discovered. It's definitely
Right.
possible there could be something on Mars.
Right,
Probably
dude,
not
what if-
Martians, because we have satellites circling, we would probably see something, unless they're underground.
Well, why would they tell us that though? If they have seen
might
something,
not.
why would they be like, "Hey, by the way, got the Martians leaving and coming from Mars, guys"? Our government ain't gonna say that. They ain't even gonna tell us when the fuck the gas going down. Why the fuck they gonna tell us they caught a Martian? You know.
Also, think about this. Like, all right, so if there are dumber, like not as advanced civilizations than us on other planets, we would never see them anyway because number one, we can't even travel far enough to see other civilizations, so they're not gonna be able to.
Mm-hmm.
And who's to say ones that are a little bit more civilized than us even have the technology to travel as far to us?
Yeah, they might be able to travel in their solar system, but it doesn't mean they can get outside of their solar system.
Right.
What if we're just a big talk show?
They have to, right? Oh, you mean from like wasn't that an episode of South Park?
Yeah, where like we were the game show.
Yeah.
And Futurama did one too.
But like, I don't know. It's just if there are aliens, did they come from the planets within our solar system? If not, that means they came outside of our solar system, which means they've been around for fucking millions of years, considering they had to start somewhere. Their race had to start somewhere just like ours did, which means like they had to over time build up their technology with what resources? You can only build that stuff out of the resources that you have. Like we have the resources, the chemicals, the shit on the fucking what's the table called? Like, you know,
periodic
whatever.
Table.
Yeah, the periodic table, like the different like rocks and shit that we have. Like we can only build stuff out of what we have. Whatever resources they have there, they had to build up that over time, discover shit on their own, and advance at a pace that they're able to with their resources. So, I mean, if they're able to travel this far, that means they've probably been around for millions of years. And if that's the case, then I would assume we'd be fucked anyway if we even tried to start a war with them.
They probably started the same as our galaxy too, and
right.
maybe all the galaxies in the fucking entire fucking universe or whatever. Our galaxy is being greedy, and we're all about power and money, and everybody doesn't want to work together. Maybe their galaxy was like, "Yo, man, hey, let's figure out. Let's maybe they were a peaceful more kind. Maybe they spread it around. Maybe we're just greedy. We're just poor polar bears can't even fucking have ice no more.
Right?
We're just fucking everything up.
We are a shitty race.
We do. I would say within our solar system, there's pretty strong evidence that there is other life within the solar system.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, aside from Mercury's too close to the sun, it's too hot. Aside from Venus and Mars, which we know don't support life now, may have millions of billions of years ago.
Right.
Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are all gas planets.
Did you just say Uranus?
Well, that's how it's actually. They're all gas planets. They don't even have a solid surface. They may have a solid core.
But it all depends on what that species thrives off of. Like we thrive off of oxygen and water.
Yeah, but what I mean is there's nothing to stand on. It's all gas. Like there's.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. I want to go to Europa.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's evidence that there could be life on some of them. That's always possible.
Yeah, it's under the ice.
Fucking space, man.
I like how you do fucking space, man. That's why I said we need to get Neil deGrasse Tyson. That would be cool as fuck.
Let's book him on the podcast, dude.
Hey, chatters, we need donations so we can pay him to come on the podcast.
No, I'm just gonna lie to him. I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, man, I'm like Joe Rogan's cousin. Like, we have a little podcast. Like, he said to hit you out, like, reach out to you and stuff. Maybe he'll fall for it because, like, he's like real smart about spaceship, but maybe he's like real dumb, like common sense wise. You never know. You never know until you try. Maybe.
I mean, if not, we could tell him that he can team up with Dr. Professor.
Ooh, there you go.
Well, no, we'll just say Tim's like a Make-A-Wish guy. Like he's fucking. he thinks he has like multiple personalities and shit, and like he really needs this for his ego. So like,
oh my god, no, you didn't.
What? It's the only way to cure me.
Say that.
What you? I mean, to make it, you gotta fucking. I'm not selling my soul for this podcast, but I'll lie for it.
I like where your head's at. I like where your head's at.
Well, maybe, in order for me to stay alive, it's important that I eat healthy, right?
Now you gotta do that somehow. Fuck it. YOLO. Live your life. Eat what you want.
No,
Smoke
because I'm
what you
eating
want.
better too. But I
Smoke
mean,
what you want. Drink what you want.
Tim pushes the limits on this.
I do. But I started drinking my keto coffee again. It's been pretty good.
No, butter coffee is disgusting.
It's actually pretty good. You put a little bit of butter, a little bit of coconut oil, a little bit of stevia in it.
The fuck wants, bro? I want butter in my broccoli. I don't want butter in my coffee. The fuck? I want butter in my popcorn.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned broccoli because I've been looking into some like these different diets. Right, I wouldn't say I'm doing the carnivore diet, but I'm definitely doing higher protein, a little bit of fruit, but try to do mostly protein. I will say it definitely makes me feel better. But what are your thoughts on like plant-based or vegetarian type diets?
No, we're carnivores for a reason. Fuck a vegetarian diet.
Okay, well, hold that thought because I don't disagree with you totally, but I do have a little rebuttal for what you just said. What do you think?
Jump off a bridge if you just eat nothing but greens.
Facts.
It's not like it. Because if you do that, like I get some people don't like the taste of meat. I get that. Like some people really don't like the taste of chicken or meat and stuff, but like they still eat fish or something. If you just eat strictly like fucking greens and like certain fruits, that's not healthy.
I mean,
I don't disagree.
Some sort of like.
Are you saying greens as in only green vegetables, or like you're talking about like any vegetable? Like you can eat potatoes, you can eat rice, you can eat nuts, anything that's not meat. Or if you're a vegan, like you can't have like dairy products, eggs, shit like that. Like nothing from an animal.
Well, yeah, I always have to look this up because vegetarian is they avoid animal meat, but they will eat dairy products and eggs.
And eggs, yes.
Vegans refrain from all animal products, and if you're a vegan, they won't even wear any type of clothing. Like they wouldn't wear leather that's made from an animal. And then you have pescatarians.
What the fuck is that?
That's like the ones that just like they'll eat the fish or like seafood.
Yeah, they don't eat meat, but they do eat fish. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I
want to throw this out there. All right, I'm fat. All right, I'm at my highest weight I've ever been. I want to go on a diet, and I've tried to go on a diet. I'm eating healthier than what I did, I would say 6 months ago. I don't drink soda. Like I'll have like a small glass, like maybe once a month. And now I still drink alcohol. I'm not, fuck it. But that's not. But here's my issue. How the fuck can you stay on like a good healthy diet? And I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm not eating McDonald's anymore. Instead, I'm gonna eat a bag of frozen chicken strips that I bought from Martin's. I mean that's just as bad. Like if we're talking like you want to eat healthy, like you're eating like very low fat beef, ground turkey, but you're eating a lot of chicken, turkey, and fish, along with like you're not eating a lot of like potatoes. You're eating like actual real
complex
vegetables.
Carbs.
Right. Stuff that makes you fuller and keeps you fuller longer. My problem with this is the government makes it hard to afford to eat healthy. They have, I mean, not only just tax, but inflation right now, and it's not always been this way, but inflation is literally killing our bodies.
Well,
I mean, to the point where like I want to buy lots of packs of chicken and turkey and lots of fresh vegetables and not like stockpile the stuff. Like go to the market every day and get some fresh vegetables because that's what I want to have for dinner, and fruit and that type of healthy stuff. But it's like, damn, I can't afford all that. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go buy a box of big ass boxes of shells and cheese because that's what I can afford to eat and feed my family.
I mean, you don't have to go sell some cheese. Like they literally make like. It's not like the fresh, but it's still broccoli florets or broccoli.
No, I get that. I
Eating
understand
healthy
that.
has always
Those
been
boxes of shells of
even
cheese are
10
banging though.
even 10 years ago
Yeah, it is.
when people were like, even 10 years ago when like things were cheaper than now, everybody still was like, bro, eating healthy is just fucking expensive. It's always been expensive for that time frame because it takes more to do it.
It
Now
does.
you can find stuff that's not that expensive.
You have to
but
be more intentional with your shopping. You can still eat healthy because if you go for the gimmicks like organic and low fat, if that's all gimmicky stuff, and then they mark the price up.
fuck
But if
that.
you really just stay on the outside aisles of a market and the
Yes.
produce, meats, deli, cheese, milk, stuff
Now
like
go down
that.
and get your rice, stuff like that. Go down and get your rice. That stuff's not bad for you. It can be good for you. Like you need some kind of carbs for
Because you're
energy.
not eating as much. So like Dan,
Right.
you mentioned a box of shells and cheese. I don't know about you two, but I could eat a whole box of shells and cheese by myself if I wanted to.
Same.
So I mean, we
We're
don't.
serving our box.
Yeah, when you make it, if I'm making dinner for me and two kids, I'm usually cooking up 2 boxes.
Right.
And we all
Same.
enjoy it, so somebody's eating it. If there's any left over, it's being ate as a snack later on.
Right.
Because there's nothing in there that keeps you full. It'll temporarily fill you up, then you're hungry now later. When you eat things that are higher in fiber, it keeps you satiated longer so that you don't feel like you need later. It's really turning off the receptors in your stomach that produce the ghrelin hormone that makes you feel hungry.
Right. Now I will say also like the cheaper stuff that you can feed your family with, and the cheaper stuff tends to like if you do a market trip, twice a month, some of that cheaper stuff will go longer during those 2 weeks to get you to the next market trip. But like if you're just staying around the outside of the market, and getting all that stuff, and you want to stick within a budget and find all the cheapest stuff you can get, you're limited on the variety of healthy foods that you're getting. I mean, if not, you're spending over $300, $400, and like I could spend $300 for a variety, which means a lot of different stuff to feed my family, which is just me, my wife, and my son for 2 weeks. I'm spending over $300, and that's counting like all the food plus like like toiletry products, stuff like that. But because we do all that in the same shopping trip, but it's just
I think that's the problem when people say they're going to eat healthy and do this. They go to the extreme of it. Like, bro, me and my dude, like, when we dieted heavy and, like, worked out all the time, like, when we were younger, bro, we were both poor as fuck because we spent our money on drugs. So, like, he could go, I mean, he took it way more serious than I did. Like, he could go and he didn't make any money. Like, the dude made minimum wage. And he could go to the market and literally get everything he needs to bulk up or cut at a reasonable price if you just know what you're looking for. Like if you get your meat, if you get your rice, obviously that's a big thing, your eggs, that's a big thing, cheese, that's a big thing. But like, the Greek vanilla yogurt, if you just know what you're looking for that will fill you up, that doesn't have the bad stuff in it, it's not that expensive. People just assume when you're like, I need these cashews or I need these nuts or I need these fresh just pulled out the fucking trees or the stems or whatever the fuck broccoli comes from.
But what you're thinking about is also for somebody who is on a bulk or a cut, so they're working out. So really, I
if
mean,
you're dieting, you should work out.
Well, yeah,
Dieting
but what I'm
doesn't make
saying,
sense to do
no,
without
I'm not
working
saying
out.
don't do that. That's not where I'm going with this. What I'm saying is they're probably on like a meal plan thing, so they're not eating a ton of variety of different stuff. They're eating the stuff they know will cut weight or like add weight, but good weight. You know what I mean? So it's like mainly those guys that are eating chicken, rice, and then
that's dieting though. That's like when
I
hear
dieting.
If you're not doing that, then you're just calorie cutting.
The definition of dieting.
I'm not dieting. I'm just eating less calories than what I did.
The definition of dieting is just changing up what your normal patterns are. So
yeah, like I
dieting,
don't want to diet.
Dieting can actually be eating more unhealthy because you're changing.
I don't want to diet. I want to eat healthy, which is adding more fiber to my body, but taking out like processed foods, like not all, because I'm saying like especially if you work out, like sometimes a good like Rice Krispie treat. I know like from a lot of stuff that I've read and videos I've seen, like that's actually a good snack to have right before you go to the gym because it actually boosts your energy. You know,
it can a little bit.
That's just put the pre-workout, dude. Let me just feel my heart thump out my chest.
But that's a different kind of energy. That's like caffeine. This is like natural carbs.
Well, not from a Rice Krispie treat. You're dealing with it's heavily processed.
Well, and it's sugar, but it's a lot of carbs too.
Well, that's what sugar is. It's a carbohydrate.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
what I'm
saying.
saying.
At the big lifting things, they'll eat like you'll see them pull out candy. Like they just do it for that sugar.
Yeah.
Instead of drinking another fucking workout or something.
The issue is sugar because they're doing more studies and they're finding that even sugar itself is getting a bad rap as far as the health circuit goes. It's not that they're saying sugar isn't bad for you. It's just the ratio of it to fiber is what's messed up. Sugar appears in nature, but it appears with heavy fiber. But we have removed majority of the fiber, so when we do eat sugar, that's why it's so bad for us. It immediately creates an insulin response, and the liver causes us to. I actually have a couple pictures here. Most you'll probably be able to figure out what they are, but I want to show you what some fruits and vegetables. If you had to guess, what would you say? That one I felt was pretty.
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
Yeah, that one's a watermelon. So you can see there's very little what we would call fruit in there. Most of that is rind and peel. Yeah. In nature, if you were to eat that, you would eat the whole thing. You wouldn't just eat the fruit. But you take a watermelon. You ever eat the outside of a watermelon?
I did when I was young.
Did you? Yeah, and it's not that you can't.
Actually, I just found a video where you're supposed to pickle it now.
What the
rind? The rind.
A lot of people
pickle it.
Yeah, a lot of people are finding more uses for the rind because it is good for you, and that's not just watermelon. That's anything. I've seen people candy the rinds, like I've seen that with orange peels. Not as healthy, but still. But now watermelon, if you guys didn't know this, watermelon's actually very low on the glycemic index. So it's one of those you can really eat as much watermelon as you want.
It does give you the shits though.
It can. I eat a lot of watermelon. Last 2 years over the summer I ate a lot. It definitely fills you up. It definitely also makes you gotta pee. A lot of water. Do you know how to pick out a good watermelon if you want a nice sweet one? You know what to look for?
If you look on the one side, it's supposed to be like all yellow because it looks like it sat there for a while on one spot.
Yeah, so there's a couple of them. The one is you definitely want that field spot, all right?
The lighter it is?
No, the darker it is. If it's lighter, it means it's not ripe yet.
I mean like not the weight. Like I'm talking about the weight.
Oh, the weight. No, you actually want one that's heavy, it's dense, but it's
What does that mean, more rind?
No, that means more water inside.
It's more water content. So you actually want one it's heavy, but it's also uniform. So you don't want one that's oblong. You want sweeter. The other sign is the webbing on it. You want thick and dark web. It's thin. Mm-hmm. It's not very sweet. It's just watery. Fun facts for you.
Wait, if we're doing this for a dieting, wouldn't you want the ones that are more watery though?
You could, but the sugar in there, it doesn't boost your blood sugar as much. So it's still healthier. It's kind of like some berries you can get away with. Like there's some fruits that it's not that they're awful. They're better than drinking a soda, but they're still high in sugar. All right, next one.
Guava. Is that a guava?
A pear.
Hold on, I'm gonna get this.
Okay.
A banana.
Yes, this a banana. Yeah. So you can see all the seeds because banana is one of those nuts. No, that's seeds. You think about bananas, you eat it all the time. You eat the seeds because the seeds in the bananas we consume are tiny, 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 tiny little black specks. You don't even realize they're in there. like pepper.
I heard a theory a long time ago that a banana is not actually a fruit or a vegetable. I forget what the hell they said. Somebody said
It's
it
a-
was an herb. An herb?
I heard it was a berry. So it's still a fruit, but I heard it was a berry.
Okay, yeah, it's a berry. Botanically speaking, a berry is both a berry. Banana is both a berry and a fruit.
Berries
It's
are
a
a berry.
berry. I mean, if it's a berry, it's also a fruit by default. Because the banana flower contains one ovary, which grows into a single banana. I guess that's why.
Interesting. All right.
And it has many tiny seeds. I guess like a lot of berries. I don't know. Oranges have or lemons have a lot of seeds. I don't know. Anyway,
McDermott, what mineral are bananas high in?
Potassium.
Good job,
Good job.
buddy. Good job.
I know that because cramping.
Yes. All right. Next one.
Is that a
yo,
root?
they're scrapping, bro.
Well, it's definitely a root. But what is it? What kind of fruit or vegetable?
Oh,
A carrot?
is it a what? Is he right?
Yeah, good job, McDermott. That's a carrot.
Wait, where's the carrot?
It's this is kind of like
That's just the roots, right?
well, the roots are just coming off. The carrot itself is kind of right here.
So this
Yeah,
is like what
buddy.
they used to look like, or
This is what they used to look like before we started messing around with them and cross pollinating and all that stuff to change it to where it's tasty,
Yo.
bigger.
Yeah, buddy.
You know what? Dickin was right about corn. Corn is not a real it's not a real food. It's not
It's a
on
grain.
the corn is not on the record books for something. We'll have to ask him. Like it's not on the list of foods that were naturally made or
Yeah,
whatever.
I thought you knew that he was right.
I mean,
Well,
he
well,
never showed me any proof.
It's partially right because
That's a pea.
this is
A
not a
pea.
pea.
A pea plant.
Is it a type of vegetable?
Not technically based off the conversation we were just having.
Corn.
This is wild
Grapes.
corn.
Oh.
So corn. So he's not wrong. Corn, as we know it, does not appear in nature, but this is how it would have used to. I don't imagine you can probably still find it like. This is how corn would have appeared.
That's not that big, right? That's just like
No,
four
it's
little
tiny.
stems that have pieces of corn on. So we fabricated it and changed it so that we could mass produce it. Basically,
Yeah, mass produce it, make it more
Into-
filling.
food, oil, syrup, alcohol. Like corn has so many fucking different uses. It's unreal. No wonder they changed it. Wow, we are fucking a shitty race. We are really terrible people.
Are we though?
We
Because
just-
think about how much that would have fed somebody. What we're looking at to like now, how much corn feeds people.
I get that.
If
but that
anything,
makes
we would have
me
ran out of
wonder-
food if we didn't do this
But
shit.
that makes me wonder how much more stuff have we changed. Like we're acting as God. We're like cross.
No, we're smart.
We're like cross. What do they call that? Cross like pollinating with different
Yeah,
stuff.
but
to
we had
create
to.
something new, and it makes you wonder how much stuff have they actually done that
We
with.
had to because if we didn't, I'm not. How the fuck am I going to survive off that little
I
fucking?
know
stick?
you need like 100 of those bitches just to eat.
Although
Look-
again, by them doing that, that's also taught the American way of like you need to eat this much to survive.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely overconsume. We are gluttons. We eat more food
Yeah,
than we
yeah.
absolutely need to. It's one of the things that I've been working on within my diet, if you want to call it that, is cutting back on how much I eat. I've been trying to do more of that mindful eating where you actually pay attention, like taste the food in your mouth, take your time chewing,
Yeah.
and think about it. Because I don't know about you guys, I'll scarf down my food. I unconsciously.
I eat fast because I have shit to do.
Well, but I think that's the ADHD because I think that's what I think that's part of what I do. It's like I want to hurry up and eat so I can get to my next task.
That's why I
They
shit
say-
so fast because I got
They
shit.
say that's why you're like they don't tell you to chew like there's 24 bites or whatever for like maximum like to not choke. Like the more you chew, apparently like it makes you eat slower, which in return you fill up. Which I've been doing, which I have noticed. Like I'm way fuller after.
I wouldn't know that doesn't apply to me. I can't do that.
Well, you
can
still
gum
chew.
Yeah,
Just not like the rest of us.
You just gum the fuck out of it.
I do what I can.
So, speaking of teeth, McDermott, you're younger than us, so maybe this didn't happen with you, but maybe it did. Do you remember being given fluoride? Ooh.
Yeah, they used to put it in my fucking thing when I went to the dentist too.
Yeah.
No,
do you remember
they
the
brought
little
in a tray
cups
of cups
into your classroom in little cups, and we all had to take it, swish it around our mouth, and spit it back? Cups. Did you go through that?
I don't remember.
I think they stopped right like a couple years after we graduated.
I started thinking about that one the other day, and I'm like, that was a very weird thing that we experienced. What the fuck?
Yes. A tray. It was like a plastic clear cup, like that tall, and they gave you the cup and a napkin, and like all at once. You weren't supposed to drink it yet. It was like all at once. You were supposed to put it in your mouth, swish it around,
and spit it back out.
Spit it back out. And although most of us didn't do it, we would like pretend like we drank it and then stuff the napkin down inside the cup to make it look like there was no liquid in there.
Yeah,
that shit tasted nasty.
Well, I mean, the one I remember tasted like regular mouthwash, just not with all the alcohol, not as like didn't really burn. But I started really thinking about and I started looking online. I really couldn't find anything. I think it was like a study that they were doing just to see what effects fluoride had on the human body, which is kind of like their own way of doing like their own human trials.
Right, so we were guinea pigs?
I guess. I mean, it wasn't just us. It had been happening for like several years before, you and I were in school. Fluoride is supposedly supposed to help reduce tooth decay and strengthen. But fluoride is in fact a poison, which is why they stopped. Fluoride is one of the noble gases that can be turned into a highly deadly acid called fluoric acid. We were given that to swish around. Not fluoric acid, but so I sit here and wonder to myself, like, what was the real reason? Like, that's what the conspiracy hat was actually for. Was why did they?
Maybe that's why millennials are fucked up and terrible parents, and millennials created Gen Z. So
dude, blame them for your teeth. Maybe that's why they came out, because like they weakened them instead of like helping them. You could probably get a lawsuit on that shit now.
Maybe.
That's not what happened. That's not how that worked.
Yeah, but just think, like when you got hit with it, like if you didn't drink that fluoride for them fucking time being, like maybe they would have been stronger. But instead, you poisoned your mouth.
Maybe. Or like,
how the fuck did the school sign off? Like, did your parents not know about that shit?
They knew. Yeah, they had to sign a waiver.
Imagine this.
Some kids
doing this now.
Yeah. It would never.
Hey, we just want to see what lead does to a kid if he licks it for a year straight. Can we just sign this paper? I mean,
and that paper was always
make them do it in school.
That paper was always in the midst of papers that you brought home on the first day that
everybody just signed. There was some
this, and
some kids' parents didn't let them, so like we'd be sitting in class and those kids didn't get a fluoride cup.
Yeah, but like we didn't know, like we didn't know that paper was
like, yeah, they're fucking dumb already. Fuck it.
Fuck those kids.
And then when that day came, we're like, fuck, they signed that goddamn paper. I don't want to do this shit. Like,
well, and that's what I didn't understand. Like, I mean, obviously improving dental health of people, because we live in a world where dental health is not the greatest for some people. But your timing, like, you're supposed to get up and brush your teeth in the morning, right? Mm-hmm. You're supposed to brush your teeth in the evening. You're supposed to brush after every meal, but that doesn't, most people don't usually brush their teeth today unless it's really bad. But we floss. When we were given these fluoride, I don't usually remember the time. It might have been after lunch. I don't really remember, but it could have been. what was your purpose though in giving that to us? Like, it wasn't cleaning my teeth. I didn't brush my teeth at school.
Was it you?
Yeah, I mean, what was the real reason?
To see what they could stick in our mouths.
They're the aliens. It's all coming around. They're the aliens.
They just wanted to see which one the vulnerable kids were, so the teachers knew which one to fucking mouth fuck later. They're gonna put this liquid in their mouth. They're probably gonna put our dick in the mouth.
Oh my god!
Look at little Timmy Marine down there. He's switching that shit back and forth.
I do think it was a weird time, but I don't see the benefit of giving that to us now and how it could benefit them.
They're probably just doing an experiment.
Hey Susie, I see you got one in your hand. Here's another one. See if you can double fist that one.
God damn.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I wonder if that was just an elementary school thing, because by middle school, I don't remember doing it anymore.
Yeah, I didn't do it in middle school.
Look at the effects on kids, because back then they didn't give a fuck if a kid died or lived. They didn't give a fuck.
True. Very true.
Yeah. All the rats probably died. They're like, fuck, man, we can't get the mice back in, so next week let's start making these kids drink this shit for a while, see what happens.
All right, so our next thing we're going to talk about is a little game that we're going to play. That for our chatter fans, that it's going to be going over the rest of football season. Where Danny McDermott and myself, we're going to make some picks every week and accumulate points all the way up to the end of the loser at the end of the season is going to suffer some sort of punishment. Some kind. We haven't determined what this punishment's going to be.
We haven't discussed anything yet either that we have all agreed upon.
So what are our thoughts? I mean, do we want to come up with this punishment now? I mean, it'd probably be better to go ahead.
We'll do it off air. We'll do it off air.
Okay, but I definitely
people can leave some comments.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe some comments, reasonable
comments,
reasonable punishments.
Even down to get the loser has to get tased.
Has to get what?
Tased.
I wasn't going that far. I mean, I was thinking more like someone wearing like you all made me wear a fucking eggplant costume, and I never even really fully agreed to that one, but I did it for the content. I was thinking more along the lines of like dressing a certain way for
or
the show.
Standing at a busy intersection and we can record it for our fans of them wearing a sign saying I lost.
Here's the idea. I was talking.
Where are we gonna find a busy intersection?
We'll have to go to Baltimore or something. So this.
Oh hell no!
This was the conversation. This was the idea that someone gave me. Is that whoever the loser is has to go to dinner, technically by themselves. They'll be going to dinner with a stuffed animal at a restaurant. Has to sit with a stuffed animal and eat dinner at the restaurant, pretend like it's their date and whatnot.
So you have to order for the animal?
You have to order for the stuffed animal.
That's easy, bro. That's not even hard. That's not even a punishment. I get 2 meals.
But we would be, the other two of us would be able to sit at another table and record the whole date.
I'm good with that. I don't think that's a good punishment.
No, you're talking shit right now. So we pick a busy restaurant, and you're sitting there with a large stuffed animal in a chair across from you, saying, "Hey, can I get a table for 2?"
Yes, I'll do it because that means 2 meals for me. I don't care.
Okay.
That does not bother me.
I think you'd do it, but I think you'd be. I agree. I think you'd be singing a different tone if
when it gets to that point and we're there, you're going to change up 100%.
Okay, we'll see.
So,
but I'm telling you, I would enjoy that.
The taste thing too, you know what I mean?
I'll even wear a fucking body cam.
I don't know how I feel about
you get all the interactions too. All right, but anyway, chatters, people watching this video, we have till the end of the year to figure this out. So drop comments down below and let us know. Give us some ideas about what you guys think a punishment should be.
And
something reasonable.
I'd really like to get the punishment figured out within the next. I don't want to wait too late in the season.
Yeah, I want to know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right. So let's get some ideas in there.
All right. So for our chatter fan, just to kind of explain to you what the game is.
It's upside down.
Is
It's
it
like
really?
I'm playing.
I was
No,
say,
I'm just
don't say
joking.
that.
I just like fucking with your brain.
All right, so I'm gonna enlarge. I clicked on it. So every week, we will pick who we think it's gonna be kind of based off of like what regular fantasy football rules are. The top quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and defense for that week. So that points are being given out all around. Each of us, between the three of us, whoever gets first place will get 3. Second place out of the 3 of us will get 2 points, and third place will get 1 point. If you happen to pick the actual top quarterback for that week, you'll get what did we say? Bonus 5 points. So
Yes.
you actually would end up getting 8 points. And even though it probably won't happen, if somehow you end up getting the worst position for that week, it's a -5.
Don't say your guy gets hurt in the fucking.
That's true. I just thought about that. If somebody gets hurt, like
that counts. We're counting it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. That does count if you pick them. If they get hurt before they even got a chance to do anything, that still counts. The next part, we'll be picking some games. We'll have our locks, and when we say lock, I mean that's your guaranteed. This team is winning. That'll be worth 3 points. Of course, because you guaranteed it, if they lose, you're losing 3 points. The underdog, right? And it has to be a legitimate underdog from betting strategies. I mean, they're all pretty obvious. But if you pick that and win it, that's 3 points. And then you have the highest and the lowest scoring game of the week. So that's where you take the 2 teams' points that played against each other, put them together, and whoever has the highest at the end of the week, if you pick the right game, you get 2 points. And if you pick the lowest scoring game, same thing. If it's the opposite, somehow you end up picking the lowest or the highest on the opposite, you would, lose 2 points. And then the last piece is we're going to have a little parlay where every week we'll get to risk anywhere from 1 to 10 points based off of parlays that myself or McDermott will make up and put up in here.
Or me, eventually.
Or you once you kind of figure out. Danny's still kind of learning it a little bit. We'll get to pick one of these parlays to risk on if you and so if you win it's a 5 times multiplier. So if you risk 5 points, you get 25. Lose, you just lose the points that you missed. So a pretty simple thing, but I'll be keeping tally of the points every. So
now we can pick the same guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't take anybody off the table.
Okay.
So which one of you guys wants to start?
I don't care.
Go ahead, Durham.
Oh, fuck me, dude. Let's let the skill guy go first.
You just said you don't care. The fuck?
I know, but now people are gonna steal my picks because they know I bet.
All right. So
because Tim dropped the fucking ball.
Oh yeah, I did forget to mention it.
down,
Go ahead,
so-
McDermott.
Listen, everything we do, and you're watching, because most of the time you guys probably won't see this video till Sunday anyway, so we'll be a little late, so you'll see the picks and if they work out. But anything when we talk about gambling, we'll say it on every video. This is just our opinion. Do not follow our decisions because chances are you will fucking lose and we won't reimburse you for it because we are not liable for your decisions on following 3 idiots on football.
Yeah, we are by no means professional gamblers.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, I like to think I am, but I'm also fucking.
I would lose you a lot of money. I promise.
So the only thing I'll say, but just because that's the way Discord does it, whenever I go to click over here on the video, I would say people probably won't be what I'm typing because it shows the stream is still running.
That's fine.
But that's fine. I'll pull it back up so our audience can see it. So McDermott, go ahead and start us off with your quarterback.
For my top quarterback for the week.
And we can give, we don't have to spend a lot of time, but we can give a little explanation as to why.
I'm going to give Jordan Love. He had a solid game last week. He was one of the few that actually did it. And he's playing an Atlanta Falcons defense that is not the best. So trust in Jordan Love, baby.
I like that pick.
The running back, this is a little hard because obviously a lot of it's run by committee.
Yes, it is.
I am going to take Christian McCaffrey just because of his receptions. He's always a lock-in for that. And I'm going to play it safe on that pick because I feel like at least one of you two will take him. So at least so I'm tying with somebody. My top receiver. This is going to be tough. See, I have a couple names written down here, so that's why I'm looking because, like, I did my homework for once on this show because I'm finally interested. No offense.
Fuck you.
I heard that one.
No, I'm just fucking with you, Tim. All right, obviously Tyreek Hill had a big game last week. He's playing the Patriots, but I'm going Calvin Ridley with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I like that pick. You know what's crazy though? If you look at like the leaders as far as like fantasy points for wide receivers, a lot of your like top receivers, like top ranked receivers, didn't have the best games.
Yeah,
but it's the first week. Like as the season goes on, it's gonna even out and whatever. But you're seeing guys really stepping up though already.
Yeah, I like the Calvin.
Damn, you don't want to take Jerry Jeudy? He's back this week.
Yeah, I'm good, dude.
I got him at 50.
Dang.
All right.
Obviously, everybody wants to take the top tight end, Travis Kelce. This is where I might lose it because he's either not going to be 100% and he's not going to play as much, or I'm afraid he's going to get hurt.
I'm mad as shit that Hawkinson already played.
I'm between Luke Musgrave with the Packers because he's a solid rookie. I think he's going to do big things for them.
And they don't have a ton of weapons, so.
It's tough. I'm going to go ahead and just take Travis Kelce because that's what Kansas City has.
It's not a bad pick.
It's legit.
Then my defense, baby. Tim, they give you nightmares probably this whole fucking week. You've been thinking about them. You've been thinking. And you know what? Danny Dimes is better than Zach Wilson. And that fucking Dallas defense is going to destroy the New York Jets offensive line. And Zach Wilson is going to get ass raped. And I hate Dallas, but Dallas defense, baby, that's going to be your top defense all fucking year long.
All right, sorry about that. It appears something happened technically. We lost some of our picks, but I'll read off all the picks here in a minute. We're currently on Dan making his picks. Danny, go ahead with your D.
All right, so shit. All right, so my top defense, I went with the Jets instead of Dallas for this one.
You were fighting against that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that the Jets offense is going to do anything. I think Dallas defense is going to do just as well, but I think they're going to shut Dak down. I think if anyone on that team is going to do anything, it's going to be Pollard, but yeah, I think they're going to score the most. I think they're going to have Dak running around all game. The lock, I also took the 49ers and Rams. 49ers are going to score at will on this team, I feel like. They're going to be, I think, the team to beat in the NFC.
Facts.
See, I don't dislike your guys' pick, but I think a lot of people are underselling the Rams. I think the Rams, it's not the Steelers. I think the Rams are going to give them a good game. But I mean, I would still probably say the 49ers is a safe pick. The only thing is you're adding LA. That's different.
The Rams don't have any weapons.
Yeah.
They got that rookie, what the fuck's his name? And no,
yeah, I mean, he went off.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's going through every game. We don't know enough about him.
Plus, it's San Francisco, so.
Right. Underdog. I was actually going through the list and couldn't believe that this team was listed as an underdog. But since they are listed as an underdog, I'm taking them, and that's Green Bay over the Falcons. I know the Falcons won last week against Carolina, but both teams are shit, in my opinion. So I think they had Green Bay as the underdog because they're away. So, yeah, that's what I'm taking.
Okay.
Highest scoring game. I am going with the Rams and 49ers. I think the 49ers will score at will, but the Rams can also score. Because if I'm not mistaken, they scored 30 last week against the Seahawks. So yeah. I don't think they'll score at will too, but I think they'll score probably over 20, 21, 24, somewhere around there. Tim, I'm going to go the opposite of you, and I think Baltimore and Cincinnati are going to be the lowest scoring game.
Ooh. I mean, it's definitely going to be good. They're division rivals.
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati did not impress me last week, and I still think Joe Burrow's not 100%. He wasn't coming out of training camp, and he showed it. That entire offense looks like shit to me. Ravens, they're like known for years of being a low scoring team because they've always been a defensive minded team. I still am, and without J.K. Dobbins, I think they lose a whole other aspect of their offense. So, Cincinnati's going to be gunning for the pass because they're not going to run a lot. So, yeah, I think Baltimore, Cincinnati is going to be the lowest scoring. And then parlay, I'm going different than both of you. And since I took Tua for the top quarterback, I'm going to go with his top receiver. And I think Miami is going to beat New England. Tyreek Hill got 11 receptions last week, so I think 8 is definitely doable. He had over 100 yards. That's doable. He didn't. He didn't. I don't think he had a touchdown, but I mean,
No, he had 2 touchdowns.
Oh, did he? Okay. All right. Well, still. Yeah, I'll take the 1 touchdown then. And I will gamble 2 points on this one.
All right. So there is a snapshot of it for everyone on here. I will change some of the spelling. I will also what I'm going to do, I'll make some check marks and I'll put it on what your picks were, like who you think's going to win those games and whatnot. That way it's clear for everyone. But
take it to the bank, people. It's like
yeah.
I'm playing. Don't do that.
Yeah. Welcome to. We would have liked to have started this in week 1.
Again,
but I kind of just came up with the idea.
Again, we are not responsible if your dumbasses go with our picks. We will not reimburse you. Don't fucking take our advice. If you do, you're a fucking idiot.
Well, thank God that they're going to see it after the games probably already happened and or like as they're happening.
Maybe.
So
we should
hopefully they'll watch it before the games.
Well, depending on when we get it uploaded.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can. I work fast.
So yeah, so that I think that'll about wrap us up for our second podcast since we started this back up. We're glad to be back. We're super excited, ready to keep bringing out more content. I know I'm excited. We got our TikToks. I put out another TikTok today. I'm gonna keep bringing out more of my little goofy TikToks. I know people like. But you might need to start checking out more of your TikToks. I need to figure out the whole thing. I guess I need to go over to what following. Like
yes,
if I follow you, why doesn't it show up on my For You page?
If you like go to his profile and like watch his go through each video and watch it, there's a chance that he could get entered into your algorithm and show up more.
Well, I just figured, what's the point in following someone if I have to go to a separate tab?
Well, like the For You one is like for you to discover other people, also along with videos like that you like, people you like, they'll come in there, and then people that are like similar to what you like will show up also. But the following is just the people you follow.
You really love that.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
Make sure you guys comment down below and give us some ideas for the punishment, please.
And
like, share, and
please
subscribe.
put comments on our video of any topics you want to see us discuss in the next video. We will try to do our best to do that also.
Absolutely.
Hit that thumbs up button too.
Yeah. Love you.
Deuces.